Recording. Alright. What's up, guys? This is episode 3 of the ShopCast. Ryan still and
Chase as well. No name changes.
Yeah. Let's get fucking to it.
I'm gonna open this up with a real unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Pepsi and Coke taste the same, at least in this drink.
I don't think so, man.
I don't taste the difference.
Shouldn't say I hate, but like Pepsi is definitely too sweet by its Coke. But I love Mountain Dew, so that's a Pepsi product.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
It's very sweet. Mountain Dew, at least. But like separated, Coke and Pepsi, not in anything else, just by themselves. Definitely taste different.
So rum and Coke, rum and Pepsi, same thing.
But rum and Coke, rum and Pepsi, in my opinion, same shit.
Gotcha.
Taste the same.
Cool.
You taste the difference?
I taste the difference.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's pretty obvious. All right, man. Well, so we've been off for a couple weeks because of Father's Day. Which is fine. Like I said, man.
Yeah.
Someday, fingers crossed. Hopefully, I'll be able to celebrate Father's Day. But
yeah,
I'm glad for people that do get to do it.
Hey, man, you never know. Next Father's Day, that could be the one.
Doubt it, but
even if just the seed has been planted, you'll be able to celebrate it.
Doubt it. Doubt it. No. My wife's gonna go to college. She's gonna get her shit done, and then we'll worry about that.
I guess that's the smart thing to do.
It's yeah. I mean, it works. It's gonna work for us. So.
Yeah. Could just say fuck the college, but.
I mean, that's what I say is fuck college, but I think people don't use enough trade schools.
Yeah, trade. So, I think trade schools, as they go on, are going to start earning more than degree jobs.
A lot of them do already.
In my opinion.
You know how much a fucking plumber and an electrician make?
A plumber is easily making 6 figures.
Easy.
I don't know about electrician.
Easy 6 figures. We got a family friend who's an electrician. Easy 6 figures, dude.
Yeah.
They fucking make bank, but you know what the problem is? Nobody wants to fucking be a plumber.
Is that hourly or salary?
You know, I don't know that answer.
Because I feel like electrician might be hourly, so it depends on how much you work.
Yeah, but he owns his own company too.
Oh, well, that's
okay, but still not the point. The point is still an electrician.
Yeah.
So yes, he makes his own hours, makes his own wages, makes his own everything.
Yeah, that's like.
But he's still an electrician. That's my point.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're not gonna go to, like, a company that's already started. Say that he gets an employee under him. He's not gonna pay them 6 figures.
No. I mean, but you're still probably making $30 an hour.
Yeah.
Easily.
And that's hourly. A lot of people.
Yeah, fuck it. So you work 40 hours a week.
In order to make 6 figures with an hourly job, you got to put in some overtime. Unless it's like.
Unless you're getting paid like $40, $50 an hour.
Yeah, that's.
But I mean, who's to say like these mechanics? You know, I know that a lot of these mechanics get paid a fuck ton of money, dude. Just to get like my front end redone on my truck that I used to have, it's fucking $900.
Oh yeah.
Like just to, all it was to replace brake pads, rotors, and calipers. $900. There's no way those parts cost that much.
Oh no.
And there's no way
you can go to the junkyard for a pick and pull.
Yeah.
Find those exact things, and you'll pay like maybe $100.
I would probably say more than that, but my point is that they pay these mechanics money, and okay, so they charge per hour money, but I mean, fuck, dude, like that's what I'm gonna if this whole Navy thing doesn't end up panning out and I have to go and get out at 16 years, I'll take my severance and I'll fucking go do a trade somewhere, dude. I'll be a technician somewhere. That's a trade, and I'll fucking. Make 6 figures, like working. I don't give a fuck, dude. It's way better than going to college, dude. In my opinion.
Just catch up on that. What's that called? Apprentice. That journeyman's license. That's what it is.
No, fuck that. That shit's garbage, dude. I'll do that in the real world, not in the fucking Navy world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like my brother, he's never been to college and he makes good money.
Yeah.
And he works at, I know I'm gonna butcher this fucking name. but he works for like a company called like I don't want to say Sub-Zero or Below Zero. It's something like that, right?
Five Below?
No, not Five Below. So what he does, or what he used to, because I think he just got a promotion not too long ago. He would weld, like, you know, in a grocery store and a gas station, how like in the frozen section or the cooler section, they've got those like things under that keep everything cool, like the refrigerators and shit that keep everything cool.
Yeah. He welds those?
He welds those things and like helps build those things.
Oh, that's dope. That's like a highly technical job, though, right?
He's just a welder.
Because if he fucks that up, that's...
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. He didn't go to college to do that.
He went to
it's on the job. He didn't even go to trade school, technically.
Really?
But he's on the job training, and I mean, he makes fucking assloads of money. He might have gone to school. I don't want to say because I don't know that much about it. But the fact is that he's not a college graduate.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not a college graduate, and I make decent money. I mean, it's not as much money as I feel like we should be making, but...
Oh, yeah. But there are a lot of benefits.
There are some good benefits to it. I'm not complaining about that. But that's my point. Like, he didn't go to college, and he makes tons of money. Like, and then he's got friends that did go to college, wasted their 4 years degree. Now they're fucking doing some other job that has nothing to do with their 4-year college degree, and they're in debt up their eyeballs.
Philosophy major in an HR job.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
that's like an example. Like, oh, that's how they're not using their degree.
Yeah, because my wife's going to be an HR manager one of these days. She's gonna make 6 fucking figures, dude, and that's gonna be great. And then I can sit at home, take care of the kids, but
that's what I'm talking about. Equality.
Yeah, equality. Dude. It's my turn. It's my turn to stay at home and be barefoot and pregnant. I'll be all right with that.
That's funny. That's the goal for guys.
Exactly.
Barefoot and pregnant.
But motherfucking dog. Our dog's here today.
Yeah, underneath the table. You can't see him, but
causing all sorts of trouble already.
You can probably hear him. Eating leaves.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Like I don't think. I personally believe that college is a waste of time, in my opinion.
Well, you'll learn a lot of shit there. Like,
you learn a lot of shit just being out in the workforce too.
But think about our job. We're electronics technicians, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much we don't really fucking understand electricity. We're just like, okay, this should happen. We don't know that it's going to guarantee it to happen, but we're going to try and do this, and it's probably going to fix this.
I would say more like, in my job specifically, I don't know how to write a 10 paper on what Queen Elizabeth farts smelled like. I don't know how to do that.
Grape soda.
But
that's what they
I will tell you that a college fucking graduate probably wrote a bunch of papers on shit like that. Yeah, why the fuck do I need to write papers on fucking anything?
I think what you're focusing on is like general education shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you go
I don't need that shit.
To like
that's part of your college degree.
A specific degree, like engineering.
Still need your generals.
You still need your generals, but there's a lot of shit you learn within that generals.
That's how they get your money, man.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, in my opinion, that's how I feel like they get their money, right? Because like they teach you the shit that it might be valuable, right? Especially for like an electronics or electrical engineer, or aerospace engineer, you know, or a fucking whatever, right?
Yeah.
They'll teach you the specifics, but I guarantee the head for NASA is not writing up fucking like poems, haikus to his goddamn. But guess what? I bet he had to do some shit like that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wasted money.
Which
I shouldn't have to have that. I shouldn't have to do that. Which
I think they should have 2 separate degree plans, because I know they're teaching you that shit to explore like first. I should say part of their reasoning, not their whole reasoning, is to educate you about like what's out there. Like for English majors, you might enjoy writing haikus. You might want to be a poet, but you would never know that unless you knew how to write a haiku.
Right, but you're an English major. That makes sense. You probably go into journalism, most likely.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, you wouldn't know that until freshman year. They taught you how to fucking write a haiku. like all these other haikus that really spoke to you.
Shouldn't you know your major before you go? Like, and I know a lot of people don't, right? But in theory, right?
Especially 18-year-olds right out of high school. Well, that's why I joined the Navy. I didn't know dick about what I wanted to do.
Same here.
Didn't want to spend a whole lot of money figuring out what I wanted to do.
Same here. But a lot of times, like, in theory, you should know what you're majoring in, right? I want to be a fucking teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you should probably learn English and how to write papers because you have to grade these papers, right?
Yeah.
You need to know mathematics.
The general
you don't know
knowledge.
what kind of teacher you're going to be, right? So, knowing that, fair. Okay, I got it. You should learn all the dumb shit that I just rattled off, right? But if I'm going to go be a architect, how many architects are writing dissertations to their goddamn...
I don't know what that word means.
Dissertation, like papers. All right, just think of it like papers, right?
Papers.
How many architects are writing papers?
It's a lot. That's a lack of knowledge for college. Lack of knowledge from college.
Right. Well, I mean, okay.
I didn't go to college.
I didn't go to college.
I didn't learn what dissertation means.
I didn't go to college, right? And there's a lot of words that I know for a fact that I use wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I know it, but
my wife tells me I use words wrong all the time.
And that's fine and all and shit. But my point is not to drag it out or beat a dead horse or anything like that. They teach you useless shit that you don't need to know. Get to the fucking point, and you could probably get a bachelor's in 2 years instead of 4.
2.5 for ECPI.
But those 2 other years that they have are just to get your money.
Yeah.
That's all it is to get your money because they always say you got to know, you got to have a sociology, class that you went through or a fucking arts class that you went through, but you're not going to use any of that in the real world. Like, why?
Which is why I was saying, like, I think there should be 2 different degree plans. One where you know exactly what you want to do. You don't want to deal with all this other general education bullshit. Where they teach you just like...
But they have that.
Where you only do the engineering classes.
They have that. It's called community college. Well, you go to community college, figure out what you want to do for your first 2 years. Yeah, right? Get an associate's.
But they're focusing on general education and community college. I think it should be the other way around. Where they should focus on...
like a broad
engineering degree
shit.
Stuff. Like specific types in community college versus all that general education shit.
Well, so that's tech college. Like if you're trying to go, like I said, if you're trying to be an electrician or a welder or a plumber or...
Well, that's a trade school stuff.
Right, a tech college.
But if you wanted to be an electrical engineer, for example, there should just be a college. There should be a college for electrical engineering.
Where I learn nothing but electrical engineering shit.
Exactly.
I agree.
Where you don't need like that old history shit.
Yeah. Why do I need to know what Napoleon did back whenever the fuck? I don't care. No. Like, yes, it's important. Okay.
So you learn from your history and shit
say
like that.
Shit about that. I get it's important.
Yeah.
But I learned all that in high school. Okay. I did that. I got a general overview in high school of like history.
This shit is what happened.
Yes.
In our point of view.
Yeah.
I should say.
I got it.
Because like, I don't think they don't learn history like we do overseas.
No. I mean, there's a lot of places out there like I know I've read about schools that don't want in Germany that don't want to talk about the Holocaust or basically 1939 through 1945 just don't want to talk about it.
Everybody was on vacation.
You need to talk about it, right? Because
just so that shit doesn't happen again.
It's an ugly period, like Civil War.
Yeah,
ugly period. Slave
who
times.
Didn't learn?
Ugly period for America, but we still need to know about it.
And you know who didn't learn about the Holocaust? Hitler. He didn't learn about the Holocaust.
He was kind of going, kind of thinking about it as he knew.
Yeah,
or, learning as he went, right?
Yeah.
But my point is,
and once he learned about the Holocaust, he bit that bullet.
Yeah, well, we think.
Shit, this is terrible.
That's a conspiracy theory. That's a. Some people think that he escaped and lives in like Argentina or lived, right? Because he's probably dead now. He's probably super dead now. He's probably like 100 something if he was.
I mean,
still
how
alive.
many World War II vets are there? And there were 18 when that shit happened.
there's a fucking colony of like all white German soldiers that like when World War II was ending, they fled, went to South America, and now they live in like a colony that's just nothing but, and they speak German, and they're in South America, and that's where they hid out, right? Because, and then I guess it was like, I saw it in the news or something like that, like the last German soldier or something like that surrendered like 2 years ago from World War II. Like he still thought the war was going on, like kind of thing. I was like, yeah, you fucking kidding me.
That was part of like Hitler's propaganda speech. Is like he kept all of the international news, like all of the news that we were spreading. He kept that shit secret. He didn't let any of the country figure that out. All he told them was, "We're winning. We're winning because you're supporting us."
Yeah, I mean that's propaganda and everything like that. And
even though like
they were getting their ass whooped.
Yeah.
Like up and down the fucking block, dude. They were and we get that.
Well, yeah, but, for the most part.
For the most part, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And at least when America stepped in, that's when shit started getting fucked.
That's when shit started turning around.
Yeah, well.
Fucking slapped our big giant cock right on to Germany.
Yeah, well, Japan first.
And then
went on. But, yeah, man. It just is what it is. Like the fucking, like I said, learning about history is fine. But I don't need to go in depth on it. I get the general gist of it. It's fine.
Some of that shit's interesting, but...
interesting is fine. If I want to learn on it on my own time, that's fine. There's plenty of books, plenty of fucking
YouTube
podcasts, whatever. You want to learn about that on your own fucking time, go for it, dude. No one's fucking stopping you. But I don't need to know about it to be a technician, an electronics technician. I don't need to know about it.
Yeah. And
I don't need to have that kind of information to be better at my job. I really don't.
No.
Like, it's...
You can... So, I think the majority of it is if a company is hiring you and they're paying you 6 figures, for example, they want you to sound educated. They want you to sound literate, which you might not always have if you didn't take a college course.
I could see a GED / high school diploma, right? Like, I get that. And then I could see, we're trying to hire you on as a mechanic. Did you go to school to be a mechanic? Like, how many years do you have on the job? How many years of actual schooling did you go to? Where, like, we can call you a journeyman in your trade. I got it, dude. Hire me at a premium rate. But, again, I've never talked to a mechanic and been like, hey, man, what do you think the philosophies of... Alexander the Great were back in the day, like why, like, never, because they don't fucking care, and that's not their fucking job. Like, we don't need everybody to be a goddamn scholar on everything. All right, we need the people that are going to fix my plumbing, that are going to create my driveway, that are going to fucking repair my roof. Those are the people we need. We don't need the guy who's like, I went to fucking, I'm a doctorate in fucking marine biology. Don't care.
Fix my roof, guy.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck.
Don't care, dude. Like, I do not, like, you're not going to help me with any of the things that I need you to do.
Tell me about the lamprey fish while you're fixing my roof.
Yeah, like, sure, you want to whatever, talk about it, whatever, but, like, I need you to do a service. Yeah. That's what I need. We need more service jobs. And the service jobs are few and far between because people don't want to do them. They think, I'm above that. I'm above, like, unclogging pipes in a house. Like, well, you're not above getting $100 an hour, are you? It's like, no, I didn't think so. But...
I definitely am not.
No. Fuck that. But that's what I'm saying, right? So these people... And I should preface this with saying that I'm not opposed to having smart people either.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the people that... Like, scientists. But if... I remember from watching a video about Killer Mike... he said...
Who's Killer Mike?
Killer Mike's a rapper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does a lot of good stuff for
Not
this
deep
for this
into
country.
the rap game.
It's fine. He does a lot of good stuff for this country, and I applaud him for it. I really do. But he sat down with a bunch of kids, or not kids, they weren't even kids. He sat down with a bunch of like unemployed adults, and was like, "Hey, like, what do you want to do? Like, what is your dream job, or whatever?" And like, 4 out of 9 of them said, "I want to be a rapper or something in music," right? And he's like, "I'm gonna break it down for you right now. You're not gonna be able to do that. That's a dumb dream. Like, don't fucking do that. You need to do something that's worthwhile, something that's gonna contribute. Like, not everybody can do what I do."
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? And he's like, and he was talking to like a principal or whatever, and he's like, "Shouldn't we have these like kids be dreaming?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm gonna tell my kids that they have dumb dreams if they think that they're gonna fucking go out there, and every one of my kids are gonna be an astronaut. Like, you're not. The odds are good you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
The odds are good you're not gonna be president of the United States.
So
I'm not telling you that you should just give up on life, but be realistic with what you want to do."
So growing
That's
up,
all I'm saying.
My mom always told us, because my older brother, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play in the NFL. That's what I'm gonna do."
Yep.
And she's like, "Okay, that's great. You should have a backup plan, though.
Always have a backup plan.
You should go to school. Don't really care what it is. Preferably college is what she said. But you should go to some type of school, get educated, and have a backup plan. That way, if you don't end up making it to the NFL, you have a way to earn money. You have a way to eat and provide for any posterity that you might have.
Have a family someday.
Yeah.
Like, there's tons of people that try out to be in the NFL that don't make it. And now what are they doing? They have no backup plan. A lot of people go out there and try to be musicians or artists. They don't have a plan.
I remember this. I remember my brother saying this to her. He was like 12. I may have been like 9 or 10 or whatever. My mom told him, like, "You need to have a backup plan. What do you want to do as your backup plan?" He was like, "Well, if I don't make it in the NFL, I'm going to be in the MLB."
That's not going to work, dude. Like,
it's fucking fun.
You know, there's a lot of fucking people out there that, like, I don't want to be an accountant. How boring. We need fucking accountants.
Well,
I don't want to be a fucking, I don't want to be a teacher. We need teachers. We need quality teachers.
Yeah.
Right?
Teachers,
and we need
like
these teachers telling their kid, telling the kids that they teach.
In my opinion, everybody needs to be a teacher in their own right. You might not have it as a profession, but you need to be able to take what you know and give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And if they're not accepting it this way, you need to learn how to reword it so you can give it to them this way.
Mm-hmm. I agree, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it just is what it is, man. Like, it's... I don't know. Like, I'll never go to college. I almost guarantee that. I'll never go to college.
I remember you saying that whenever we first met.
Yeah, I'll never do it.
Yeah.
I don't fucking... And, like, my wife's going to college. Not going to shit on her dreams.
No.
I'm not. Right?
Because sometimes college is necessary. It's all that extra shit that they give you.
Yeah. I feel like it's
superfluous for your English majors out there.
I think that's the word.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't go to college, so...
I didn't either. I had somebody who went to college teach me that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just one of those things, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't want to make the whole thing about that, because...
No.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there, like, doing shit, like, interesting shit with their college degrees, though.
There's a lot of people that do shit that don't have college degrees.
Oh, yeah. Well, I should say that, because I don't necessarily know if they have college degrees. I'm assuming they have some sort of degree in engineering for what they do. Because I was telling you about this earlier. The guy who made, like, a sand hot tub.
Yeah, you didn't tell me how that fucking works.
So,
how do you make a sand hot tub? Do you just, like, you don't
tell
me.
This concept is pretty, like, simple. But, like, the actual making of it would be a little bit difficult. It would be a little bit tricky. So, he could have a degree. I'm not really sure. I forgot his name. But, essentially, he took a hot tub and he built, like, this airway, like, system where he would be able to blow nitrogen he built this pipe system.
Nitrogen, wouldn't that make it cold?
Yeah, a little bit. So it's not really a hot tub per se, but it's like sand that feels like liquid. You can jump in it.
Dude, I was definitely thinking you're talking about like just a pit that's got water in it.
Oh, no.
It's a hot tub. I was like, no, I don't understand. Like, people do that all the time. Like, that's not a special thing.
No, it's like, so he got this hot tub. He made like a pipe system and like drilled holes into the pipes and like made sure the holes were facing down. That way the sand didn't clog them. And like he blew nitrogen through the holes and it like at a certain PSI or whatever, it loosens the friction between the sand so you can like play in it like it's water.
So it's just like liquid sand is what you're trying to tell me here.
Yeah.
Yo, that's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
I'd have to definitely see that shit because like
it's pretty wicked, bro.
That's weird as fuck.
Yeah. Which, like I said, the
is there
concept,
any like benefits to it? Like.
No, it's
or
just,
is it just cool?
It's just for fun.
It's just cool.
Did it for fun.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like I would never have guessed like you'd be able to jump into a pit of sand and not hurt your ass.
Well, what's quicksand, right?
Well, yeah, quicksand's different.
Is that the kind of same thing, same process?
It's not the same thing. It's like I don't know the basics of quicksand. I just know it's not blowing air up and through it.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know quicksand. It's just like loose sand.
Yeah.
That's all like quicksand is. I've never seen quicksand in real life, but...
So quicksand, there's a comedian, John Mulaney.
I love John Mulaney, dude.
Yeah,
John
did you see the special whenever he was like, I thought quicksand was going to be a bigger thing whenever I was older?
Yeah.
That's the shit. I thought of that. I was like, whenever I was younger, I thought about like, oh, I'm going to need to know how to get out of this.
Yeah, man. Like, what? Like, you're just going to be walking around and be like, oh, this quicksand, I've fallen into it. It's like,
I thought that would be a huge deal whenever I was younger.
That's funny, man.
I was like watching Bear Grylls.
On how to get
I specifically
Sure you didn't just piss in it? Because that's all Bear Grylls ever does, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Piss, he uses piss for everything, dude. I swear to God. Like, oh, you're hot, you're in the desert, you just piss on this rag and put it on your face. Now it's cold. Oh, you're stuck in the Arctic tundra, piss on this rag and now you're warm. How many fucking things can you two piss with? Hey, stuck on a tropical island, no fresh water, piss in this hole and then get the water out.
Yeah. He's like, use your sock to filter the piss.
Yeah, just always.
That's not gonna make it taste better, Bear.
Oh man, that dude's fucking. That dude cracks me up. I guess there's this thing on Netflix. One of the guys I worked with was saying that he there's like a series on Netflix that Bear Grylls did that he it's kind of like that Black Mirror Bandersnatch thing where like you pick your own adventure kind of thing.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Well, I've
played games like that, but I haven't.
Right, so it's like that, but Bear Grylls. Like he's telling me, he's like, oh, you come up to this, you're in the forest and he like stops you and he's like, hey man, like we're super hungry, we need to eat something. Like, do we trudge on or do we eat these mushrooms? We don't know what these mushrooms will do, whatever. And he's like, I'd always pick the mushrooms. Like, always pick the dangerous shit. Like, there's a pack of wolves. Do we hide or do we fight them? Fight those fucking wolves, bro. I want to see this shit.
Funny.
But like he was saying that like he picked ate the mushrooms or whatever, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, you feel good, you feel like you're not starving anymore. So you walk, and all of a sudden he'll just be like, oh, my stomach, the mushrooms have turned, the mushrooms are fucking me up. And then he calls in and then like it'll stop it and it'll call the helicopter in, it'll come pick you up and take you to the hospital.
That's
like,
boring.
Start over.
I want to see you shit your brains out behind a tree.
I want to see like him walk and be like, oh, the mushrooms, oh god, and then just like keel over and be like, now you're dead, bro.
Just see a blast like through his pants, turn him brown.
Oh Jesus! Shouldn't have ate the mushrooms.
Gets like the double dragon.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I never got to play that fucking that Bandersnatch thing or even that Bear Grylls thing. I never even saw him because I have Apple TV, and apparently Netflix doesn't want to do anything with Apple TV. So you can't do any of your pick your own things.
That sucks.
It does suck, especially since Apple's the first $1 trillion company. Don't know why you wouldn't be getting on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Maybe Netflix is
gonna lose out to like all these other places. Yeah.
I was thinking they're run by hipsters. They don't want to do anything mainstream.
Dude, if you're talking about hipsters, bro, like Steve Jobs was like the biggest hipster. Like he dropped acid all the fucking time.
Wore a turtleneck.
Never went to fucking college. Like
he looks like the kind of guy that went to slam poetry.
Yeah.
That's not confirmed, but he looks like the guy that would go to slam poetry.
Yeah.
Just because of the turtleneck and the glasses.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that guy, speaking of things, people who succeeded without going to college.
Steve Jobs.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he dropped out, right? He went to college and was like, I don't need to know this shit.
Might have. You know, that probably sounds familiar. Yeah, he probably did. But that's not my point. I mean, he didn't go to college, right? And now he is part of the first $1 trillion company. Technically, he's dead. I get it.
However, that is dangerous thinking.
Well, again,
to say this guy who started a $1 trillion company,
temperate your fucking expectations.
Yeah.
Not everybody who doesn't go to college is going to be a trillionaire.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm going to be real honest with you guys. I know to our 11 viewers out there.
Not 11 viewers. We only have 4 viewers. 11 views.
11 views. Okay. Yeah. To our 4 subscribers out there.
2 of which is us.
2 of which is us.
Half of the population
is in
this room.
I can guarantee half of you guys are not fucking geniuses.
At least half of us aren't geniuses.
Yeah.
If not 100%.
Yeah, so you can't expect to go to college and be like, oh, fuck this shit, I don't need this, and then start a $1 trillion company.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, my point being...
temperate your expectations.
Yes. You're not going to be the president of the United States. You're not going to be the fucking, star quarterback of the fucking Minnesota Vikings, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to do it.
Even if we get 1 million viewers... maybe
odds are still good.
Maybe 2 of you geniuses.
Odds are still good. You're not gonna be. I mean, there's 360 million people in this country. Like,
I don't know. I never went to all the trouble of counting them.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's 360 million people in this country, approximately, right?
Yeah.
And the fucking odds are good. Like 0.0001% of you are gonna do something. Like make a $1 trillion company or be a professional football player. It's just not. The odds are against you.
Yeah.
So you need to do. And
even like in the case of people who are extremely athletic or extremely smart, there's still only about maybe a third of you who are going to live up to your expectations.
Well,
live up to.
What's to say you don't get hurt? One fucking ACL tear could tear your whole fucking career could be gone.
Oh yeah,
easily. Could all be gone. Never play football ever again. Never play baseball again. Never play any sport.
Especially if you tear it real bad.
Like,
if it's a severe tear, minor tear you might be able to get over if you're.
I mean, it all depends, man. It all depends on determination, right?
Because you will never be as good as you were without that.
A lot of that's a mental thing too. Like, can you get over like being injured? Or are you always going to be the guy who's like, oh, my fucking knee hurts. Like, I don't think I should do this. Or, oh, my knee hurts. Like, I think I can't do this. So then you don't play as well. Then guess what? Now you're sitting on the fucking bench.
Yeah.
And now you're going to get dropped next season because you're not going to pick up your option. Like, it's a whole fucking thing, man. Like, you can't...
My favorites are those, like, old athletic stars that got injured, and so they never went to college, and now they blame everything on their old high school injury. Like, you could be playing beer pong with them, and they didn't quite make it to the cup, and they'd be like, "Oh fuck, man, I tore my ACL." That's
dude.
It.
My
like,
biggest,
no, bro, you just suck.
My biggest thing is those guys who they're like, "I could have made it." You're sitting in there, and they're fucking double wide, and they're drinking their 6-pack of beer, and they're like, "Yeah,
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I could have made it to, I was actually better than Tom Brady, but I got injured in college, got that fucking rotator cuff problem, and so now I'm here." I'm like, really? Now you're here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there's a lot more decisions as to why now you're here.
But Duck Dynasty, right?
Yeah, I know those people.
The guy, the grandpa, not Uncle Si,
the
but
racist one.
his brother, not Uncle Si, but his brother.
So the not racist one.
The one.
Actually, he's not racist. My bad.
The one who actually.
He's homophobic. My bad.
I don't know, man. I didn't.
He doesn't like the gays.
But the guy who actually started the company, he played as first-string quarterback.
No, that is the gay guy. Or not the gay guy, the homophobic guy.
I mean, he might be.
No, he said it on an interview.
In college.
It's piece of shit.
In college, he was the quarterback, and Joe Montana was his second-string quarterback.
Yeah, well, fuck what? Look at him now.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's still a billionaire.
I don't actually know
he might be a millionaire. He's still making a fuck ton of money.
Twins won today. Yeah, actually, I'd be very interested to see what Duck Dynasty is worth nowadays. What is that? What do they call it? Duck calls?
Yeah, they make duck calls, like duck blinds. Pretty much just a bunch of hunting shit.
Duck Dynasty.
But yeah, he said he could have been drafted to the NFL. I don't know the facts on, but he chose to make duck calls and run his company instead.
They're only worth $7 million.
All right, still millionaire.
Listen, I'm not going to turn my nose up at $7 million, but
that could be $41 million a year.
They're not worth that much, man.
No, I mean like if he went to the NFL.
Oh yeah, I mean
he wouldn't be making that now because he's like 60. But
yeah, but I mean he probably wasn't even all that good anyways. I mean
that's not for me to say.
Well, me either. But as much as I hate Tom Brady, which I thoroughly hate Tom Brady, dude was a backup in Michigan. Didn't even start in Michigan. Got like drafted low, and now look at him, best quarterback ever. Unfortunately to say. And
at least,
I mean,
there's going to be a lot of debate with that.
I fucking hate him, dude. I fucking hate him. But
the best quarterback in the NFL.
No,
today.
I would say best quarterback ever.
Really?
And I would, and it pains me every time to think about it. But I have to give it to him, man. Like I have to give it to him. He's got more rings than anybody. He's got better stats than I think anybody. Like. It just is what it is, dude. Like, and it's
how many times do you lead him to the Super Bowl?
That's what I'm saying, man. He's got more championship rings than anybody.
Oh yeah, he played both Manning brothers in the Super Bowl, didn't he?
Yep. I mean,
and those were like 2 years apart.
Well, Eli's not
2 or 3 years apart.
Eli's a weird thing, cause like I like Peyton, and I think Peyton's a better quarterback, but Eli's got more rings than Peyton.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
It's
just weird to
I
me.
don't follow football a whole lot.
And that's fine. I mean,
how often have Eli and Peyton faced each other?
Fuck, I don't know, dude. I have no clue.
They're two separate things, right? AFC and NFC. Is it NFC?
Well, it depends, because I think the Colts are technically AFC, and the Giants are NFC.
Okay.
But
so
when
they would
he
pretty
moved
much
over to Denver, I think Denver's NFC.
Oh, okay.
God, I'd have to look it up, dude. I'd have to look it up, but
because I'm gonna be honest, even if it wasn't the NFL, if I went to a different high school than my brother and I faced him, that'd be a fucking blast.
Yeah, I mean, civil rivalry. Rivalry.
Even though I know I would get my ass kicked.
Would you though? I mean, how do we know?
Oh yeah.
I never met your brother, so I don't know.
I personally went head to head with my brother, even if he was running the ball and I went to tackle him, I'd get my shit rocked.
Yeah.
I might take him down, but I would not be feeling good getting up.
Hey, but you won though. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
You took him down. Like if he ran you over and then just kept going for a touchdown.
No,
that's a pretty
that shouldn't
resounding loss.
That wouldn't fly because I'm used to like grabbing an ankle, tripping him up.
Yeah, just
he might do it like once, but after that, I'd catch on.
Just grab your jersey, bro.
Which I guarantee if he watches this video and sees that part, he'd be calling me up and he's like, I would run you the fuck over every time.
Well, we can't really, I guess the only way to do that would be to bring him out here and fucking suit you guys up, see how that goes.
I'd be down for that, but...
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I know my little brother ain't gonna fucking run me over. I guarantee that.
He's my older brother, though.
Yeah.
And it's a lot different now that we've both been out of sports, and he I don't think he's been working out as much as he did then.
Yeah, well,
he used to be a solid man, solid 5'9" powerhouse of muscle.
Solid 5'9" is kind of funny to hear.
Yeah, you don't hear that very often. But
yeah, man,
he's a brick house. Whenever he was 5'9", I've seen him push 3 sets of guys, and he was still like
taking on 3 guys at once,
chopping his feet, making yards, forward progress.
Taking on 3 guys at once, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, man. Fuck. So, no, I don't know, man. I just forgot what I was going to talk about. That's all right.
I don't have any good transitions into this, but
I don't give a shit about
I was watching
transitions.
I was watching this this TED Talk the other day, right?
Mm-hmm. How often do you watch TED Talks, or is this like a new thing?
So this is kind of like a new thing. I picked up like the Monday before last weekend, because like I get suggestions every once in a while, but it's like always some bullshit topic that I'm not interested in.
Yeah, I saw a few TED Talks. I didn't really care for.
Yeah, and it's like, so the first one that I saw, like the suggestion was actually with this pickpocket artist.
Okay.
Again, don't remember his name, but essentially he was talking about how he would trick your brain, or the security guard in your brain that he named Frank, who's watching the monitors. He would trick him by asking you like something you had to think about, right?
So you'd focus on one thing vice the other.
Yeah, he would like be like, oh, that's a nice watch. I bet your grandfather got you that watch. And then Frank would have to turn around in the files and remember where you got that watch, who gave it to you, or whatever.
Yeah. And
while Frank is checking that file, he would be stealing your wallet. And Frank would not be watching your wallet, or watching the senses in which.
Yeah, like not noticing that your wallet's being.
Yeah. And after that, it started recommending a bunch of other TED Talks, which I was kind of interested in. And this one guy, again, whose name escapes me. I need to start remembering the name so you guys can watch it. But his last name is Eagleman. I remember that.
Eagleman, huh?
Yeah. He has 2 TED Talks, one of which he's talking about the neuroscience in your brain and how your brain doesn't actually need... David Eagleman. Yeah, that's his name. Look him up. He's got one where he's talking about...
Looks like Paul Rudd.
He does look like Paul Rudd. But he's like a thicker Paul Rudd. I don't want to say necessarily fat, because he's not really fat, but he's definitely thicker.
Okay.
He's got 2 videos. One which is God versus No God, who wins. I didn't watch that one, but I did watch.
I'd watch that one.
I plan on watching it sometime, but I haven't watched it. The second one is he's talking about neuroscience in your brain, how your brain doesn't need your eyes, your ears, or any of your other senses. It just needs electrical inputs that send a consistent pattern with consistent things. So if I'm touching this glass with ice in it, it needs to have a consistent pattern to recognize that it's cold. You know what I mean? So what he is doing is like deaf people, they can't hear anything, right?
Yeah.
So he designed this vest to vibrate on your back with specific sonic waves. It picks up the sonic waves and it vibrates a certain way depending on how those sonic waves are. Okay. So the way I'm speaking, if I were to say couch, it would vibrate a certain way. If I were to say wave, it would vibrate a certain way. And basically, your brain is taking in these vibrations, and
would you have to train your brain to do this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it would take a couple months just to learn like what couch means and wave, but eventually your brain is very good at picking out patterns and certain things and connecting.
So like kind of learning how to read all over again.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So that's actually an example he used, is like how people, when they go blind, whenever they read Braille, it comes to them just as if they were reading it off the page with their eyes. So
that's pretty cool. I mean, like, well, so is that supposed to take over like cochlear implants?
Mm-hmm. Because that's an invasive surgery,
right?
Which a lot of people can't afford, and this would be like.
So we just need to make them cheaper, right? Because I've seen like videos of like babies like hearing for the first time. That's gotta. I mean, that's got to tug at your heartstrings. Like, this kid is deaf as fuck. And, like,
which...
Also, you can hear his mom's voice for the first time. That's fucking crazy.
Which, eventually, that'd be cool. So, imagine, like, you don't have enough money now. But, in a couple of years, you plan to have more money. You plan to save up for that cochlear implant.
So, in the
meantime, this vest can let them hear, quote-unquote, or be able to actually like listen,
interpret. Like sounds.
Yeah, because it's not really listening; it's just feeling.
Yeah. And your senses are usually higher once you lose one of them.
Also, another thing that'd be cool is, imagine like if you were in another room and you're trying to eavesdrop, you just press your back
up against
the wall and you hear the vibrations.
That'd be interesting.
Oh, those motherfuckers are talking about me.
Yeah, or they're talking about me. They think I can't hear those bitches.
Yeah.
They fucking.
Talking about this deaf motherfucker in the other room.
We can be loud as we want.
Bust in there, be like, "What'd you say?" Yeah, and that's another thing. It helped them to be able to talk without like a speech impediment.
Because you can hear yourself talk.
Yeah. Well, you can
feel yourself talk.
Feel yourself talk.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you hear yourself, like how we can hear ourselves talk. That's how we don't. That's why I like deaf people. When they usually talk, they have a weird sounding lisp almost. It's because they can't hear themselves. Yeah. So they don't know what it sounds like coming out of your.
So they
mouth.
can't fix it.
Yeah.
Because and the way he explained it is like, the way we hear anyway is it comes through our ear and vibrates our eardrum.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a vibration already.
Yeah.
So theoretically, they would be able to hear.
Yeah, but not like
not
a normal.
Really, not normal.
Not like a normal human being. Or I shouldn't say. A normal non-deaf person would hear.
Yeah.
So. I mean, that's cool, man. I'm glad that there's people out there like inventing shit like that.
Yeah.
I think personally we just need to make things like, if we tomorrow have found out like, oh, we can bring back people's sight, but it's going to cost you, $4 billion.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like, how about you just make it free for those people that are blind? Like, they deserve to be able to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like a basic. Like, that's not. We're not asking like to make your fucking tits bigger or something like that. We're just trying to make them see something. You know, like I don't think that should be a premium service. Like,
leveling out like equality, right? Say you can see but somebody else can't.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing somebody else up to that equal level with you where they be able to see, I don't.
Or let's just gouge everybody's eyes out so everybody's on the same level, man.
Well,
everybody's blind as fuck, bro.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but making people better.
Yeah, it should be especially not even like it's not even like a fucking advantage.
No,
like,
it's not.
Seeing is not an advantage. Seeing is a normal thing that everybody should be able to do. Hearing, a normal thing that everybody should do.
Yeah.
Like, feeling, like those people that don't have feeling, like that's a weird fucking
rough life.
thing.
They gotta set like an alarm to remind them to pee because they can't feel when their bladder's full.
Or like they just have to realize like what they're doing. Yeah. Like you can't like lean on a something hot because you burn the shit out of yourself but not feel it. Yeah. Like that's fucking crazy.
It's a tough life.
You gotta check yourself every once in a while, make sure I didn't like break a fucking bone or something. Like. Yeah.
You imagine walking around with like a fractured femur
and just not know it because you can't feel it. Like that'd be fucking crazy, man. Yeah.
That's one of like what people say is the most painful. That's like the 10 on the pain scale.
My grandmother broke her femur last Christmas or last winter. She lives up in Wisconsin on like Lake Superior, beautiful home. But she like slipped and fell and broke her femur. And I was like, holy fuck, how do you fucking do that? Like, I figured like a hip or something, but a femur? Holy shit.
Femur's intense.
And she was out of commission for a while there, man. It's I can't even imagine the pain that would have been. Like, that'd be unbearable.
And she'd be the perfect person to ask. Like, what was more painful? Because she's had kids and she's broken a femur. Yeah. And that's what the top two are. Yeah. It's like,
ever been kicked in the nuts?
10 and a 9.
Ever been kicked in the nuts, bro? That's
bad, but I mean,
do you know which one's worse? I don't know which one's worse.
I don't know which one's worse. I'm sure there are some transgender people out there that would be able to tell us.
I don't think so. I think because like those transgender people can't have kids, so how the fuck would they know? Just like how would I know?
A lot of people have kids, and then they're like, oh, I don't feel like.
Right, but like you don't just get nuts all of a sudden.
That's true.
Like, it's not the same thing. Like,
but again,
you'd have to somehow compare it, or
I've broken a bone, and I felt like that was more painful than getting hit in the nuts.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe I haven't been hitting the nuts hard enough.
Yeah, I don't think you've been hitting the nuts hard enough because I broke my ankle, and that shit was painful. I broke in lacrosse when I was in high school, and that shit was painful. But I've also been kicked in the nuts real hard too. Yeah. I'm sure not like as hard as some people, but
it was awful.
Oh, it's hard comparison, bro.
Yeah, it was also 2 separate times. So I broke my elbow. That was the most severe break that I've had when I was 6, and nobody was kicking me in the nuts then.
Yeah, well, maybe they should break your elbow and then kick you in the nuts
and see
at
which
the same time and see like, okay, which one hurts worse? Yeah, you know. Is your elbow hurt or your nuts hurt?
But then you would have to do it again in reverse order to make sure it's not the most current pain.
Correct. Yeah. You'd have to kick someone in the nuts and then break their arm. Yeah. Okay.
That's why you got 2 arms.
Yep.
For experiments like this.
And 2 nuts?
And 2 nuts, yeah. Oh, fuck.
Most people, I guess I should say. Most people have 2 nuts. I know a guy's got 3, bro.
He could do it 3 times.
We don't have 3 arms. That's the thing.
I mean, like, he could do his leg. I guess. Yeah, well, but that might be a more intense pain.
That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's funny.
Maybe test it out with a different bone.
I give that guy shit so much for having 3 nuts.
Hey, man. Say all you want. He's more man than you are.
Old Bobby Bunch of Balls, bro. He's gonna hate me if he sees this. He's gonna fucking. I guarantee you, like he'd text me immediately when that happens. He'd be like, "You motherfucker, you goddamn bitch."
That's funny. Did he tell you that he has 3
nuts? Yeah.
Or, okay.
I didn't see him.
I didn't know if it was like, oh, you got to go to the bathroom. You walk in, he's walking out of the shower.
He's got 3
drying
nuts.
his back off.
What kind of place do you live in? I don't walk into people that have getting out of the shower.
I live in a place that only has 2 adults and no guests over normally. So.
That's true. And one of the adults is your wife, so
yeah. So we walk around naked all the time.
That's funny, man.
I clothe myself whenever the baby's awake, but
that's
fair.
I mean, I'll probably do the same thing, man. I don't even.
Yeah. Just because I feel like
you don't get things misconstrued here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys have kids out there, but babies stare a lot.
Yeah.
And to me, whenever you're really focusing on something and staring
like
at
sponges.
it, that means you're memorizing something.
Well, they're like sponges. They pick up everything, dude. So someday, your son might like just wake up and be like, "Yo, I had this dream about my dad's dick one day." Like, what?
And then I gotta sit down and be like, "What did it look like?" Just to make sure.
To you, what did it look like?
Yeah, just to make sure it didn't match.
Listen, I know what it looks like. What
Yeah.
do you think it looks like?
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, it's like a 16-inch
like a
knee
python.
knocker." Yeah, I'm like, "Okay, that's not me. Thank goodness." On the other hand,
who is that? Do you remember that guy's
Yeah.
face? Who is that guy?
Did he have a mustache?
I need to know
Yeah.
these people.
What kind of car did he drive? Did he drive a white van?
How
perhaps?
often's he over? Is it only when I'm not around? Like, oh, my sweet dog.
Yeah. He's been very good.
He has been. He got tired eating all these leaves and causing fucking trouble. Now he's just, I don't know, he's being all sweet.
He's tired.
That's good, man. It's good because he's gonna have to sleep while we go to that Gaelic festival. So.
What's that about? You never.
So I have no idea, but one of my bosses that I used to work for over at Oceana, a good friend of mine, at least I like to think, he invited us out, and he was like, "Hey, well, I got 2 free tickets on us. Like you and your wife should come out. Like we should, because I haven't seen him in like I'd say a year. Like I haven't seen him in a long time."
Is it like a music festival, but like
no,
Gaelic
I don't think
music,
it's a music festival. I think it's just like a Gaelic festival. I mean, like I feel like it's so Gaelic Irish.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I feel like it's just
Gaelic
like
is Irish and not. It's not both Irish and Scottish, right? It's
no,
just
I believe
Irish,
it's just
right?
Irish.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I don't know enough about the culture.
I should know more.
Yeah, I should know more.
But
even now that I figured out my DNA test is like 40% Irish and Scottish.
Yeah, you should definitely know more. I'm not even that much Irish and Scottish.
I didn't think I was either.
Yeah.
But apparently I'm 40% that and 48% English and Welsh.
I got that Norwegian blood. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. I got 2% Norwegian. Or, 3%, 2% German.
I'm looking at like 26, 27.
If you're adding that up at home, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, it probably doesn't equal 100. Adjust those numbers.
Yeah.
They're roundabout numbers.
Yeah.
I'm not adding them up in my head.
But it's gonna be a good time, man. Like I just want to go see Pat. That's all. Like
Pat.
That's the guy's name.
Oh,
Pat.
Your
Yeah,
I got
my
you.
buddy.
Oh, work friend.
Yeah. He's a great guy. Yeah. So we got that. So he's gonna have to sleep through that anyways. He'll be here. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time.
So that's what I was imagining. Is like it was just like a music festival, but with all like Gaelic music.
I don't know, dude. Dude, I've never been. So me and my wife went to Pride Fest 2019 last night.
Yeah.
First off,
I've heard that's a lot of fun.
It was pretty great.
Yeah.
I've never been in the scope without being a hockey game, right? Because it's the only times I've ever been is their hockey games where the Admirals go. Fucking weird to see like no ice and like a DJ and like holy fuck, there was a ton of people there, dude.
Yeah.
And it was a good time, man. Like I'm glad we can have things like that. There was one guy out there, like not inside the festival, just outside. Got his sign up, his bullhorn, protesting against the gays. I'm like,
wow.
Dude, you're alone out here. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta think, like, if you're the only guy there, like, this protest isn't gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, why the fuck are you protesting? Fuck you, for reals, dude. Like, seriously. Like, these fucking people have done nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong to you. Nothing wrong to society. And you're out here fucking spewing your fucking bullshit, and no one wants to goddamn hear, dude.
Yeah, it's...
And if you do want to hear it, fuck you, too. Seriously. Like, I don't know. That's my opinion, though.
But there's always going to be, like, one person where... somebody of this, like, of this ethnicity, nationality, sexuality, religion, somebody of that
has done something
culture
wrong.
has done something wrong to me, or I have perceived that they have done something wrong to me.
Or heard about it, and so that means it's got to be
fuck
bad.
them.
Well, fuck that guy.
That's their reasoning.
Fuck that guy. Yeah, luckily there's only one out there, because if it was like a fucking group, dude, I'd have been...
I'd be even more pissed off if it was just one guy, because that's...
Well, no, I'm glad there's just one guy.
Well,
I'm glad there's just one guy out there who's spewing this fucking nonsense, and he's not actually fucking, like, got a following or some bullshit.
I would be more likely to talk to that guy and, like, confront him, like, oh, hey, what's wrong with you? What happened to you? Who hurt you?
No, fuck that guy. I don't give a shit, dude.
Like, why are you doing this? And more, like, if there was just one guy. If there was a whole group, I'd just ignore them. Like, all right, fuck you guys. You guys...
Because that's like... Okay, so...
You guys are a piece of shit. I get it.
So, here's a kind of close but decent example, right? So, when I was 16, all right, I was a fucking stupid kid, right?
Yeah.
Most people are, right? But there was this one cop. There's this one cop in my county, dude. Just a fucking dickhead, dude. Mm-hmm. Swear to God, just a fucking dickhead. And I got pulled over by him like 3 different times. 3 separate times, the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Giving me bullshit, like speeding tickets. I drove a 1982 Chevy S10. Like, max speed was like 80 miles an hour. Who the fuck am I racing in that goddamn thing? And he's trying to get me like speeding tickets and racing tickets and shit. Just a big old dickhead, dude. I fucking hate that guy, right? Guy sucks, right? But I'm not saying all cops are bad.
No.
Right? So it's the same premise, right? So maybe you met one, you know,
shitty
guy
person
you didn't like that happens to be Catholic or happens to be gay or happens to be fucking black.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're all that fucking way, dude. You can't fucking sit there and be out there protesting about all these people are the same. That's the fucking wrong way to go about things.
That's the shit that I don't understand. Somebody earlier this week tried to explain to me, like, oh, hey, so I noticed these 2 people, like, I'm trying to explain this to where I don't give it away, but
these 2 people what?
These 2 people are, like, they're good friends, right?
Okay.
Or not necessarily good friends, but, like, this person asked this person of something, and this person is a superior, and this person was like, person A is a superior, person B asked them for something, person A gives that to them, and person C over here sees it, and they're like, why is that happening? Oh, it's because they're the same race. That's what it is.
Oh, okay, well, still, again.
But, like, that is just a conclusion that they went and made in their minds. It could be just because,
that's being closed-minded.
They must be something else. Like, there must be something else that's happening. Like, they must be cool with each other. They like each other's interests.
Yeah, but that's just being
They're
closed-minded.
friends.
And even if it isn't, let's say it's not. Let's say that is the same reason. Let's say that is the reason.
Yeah.
So the fuck what, dude?
Who cares?
So the fuck what, dude? I don't get everything I fucking want, right? And I'm not blaming it on race, and I'm not blaming it on, you know, gender. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying I don't get everything I want. Most people don't get everything they want.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I don't have $1 million right now.
Yeah. And
I've
if someone else
for a
gets
long
something
time.
that you want that you didn't get, doesn't mean that they're bad.
Yeah.
Or that they're doing something wrong. Like, so the fuck what, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Just work harder or be better. You know, you can't. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Like, that's a bad mentality to think you can't be better. But
that's something that a lot of people don't understand is there are people out there who don't have to work as hard to get things that they want. It's just because they're in a different circumstance than you. It doesn't always have to be a race thing. It could just
have to be anything.
Yeah.
It just some people get lucky.
Yeah, like there are math people where math just comes easy to them. It just clicks. That's not because they're a certain race. That's just...
Some people are good at sports.
Yeah.
Others aren't.
Exactly.
That's just the hand you were dealt, man.
Some people have to work harder for that than others.
You know? And there's some times that people just are born into privilege, which
it's not their fault.
It's not their. I mean, technically, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Right. But they can choose how they go about it.
Yeah.
You
they
can
don't
choose
have
to
like,
exploit it and be like, oh yeah, that means that I'm going to do and get whatever I want.
Yeah.
Or they can say, hey, I realize I have this, so I'm going to use it sparingly, and if I do get it without even asking or whatever, I'm going to use it for good, right?
Yeah.
Like if I inherited or I grew up into a place that my family's worth $1 billion, right? And I got all the money I want, anything else I want, I shouldn't be a spoiled brat about it. No. I should be a fucking person who's saying, hey, I realize I was born with a silver spoon. I should use this for good. I should help out people that are less fortunate than me. Which is being a good human being. Which is what people are forgetting in this world is you should be a good human being first, and then everything else second.
I'm going to be real honest. If I was born with a silver spoon, I'd probably take full advantage of that.
I would like to say I wouldn't, but I can't say.
No, I would definitely be like, all right, I'm born with a silver spoon. I'm going to take advantages. I'm going to make a lot of money with the silver spoon. And hopefully down the road, I'll help out others as well.
You would like to hope that everybody does that, but there's a lot of people that don't. All right,
yeah,
and
there's not enough people who give to charity.
No, I mean, I'm not even saying charity. I'm saying like, let's pay our fucking people fair wages. You know, look at businesses that you get these tax breaks, right? To say, you're not going to pay $30 million in taxes this year because we expect you to give that to your people, your employees, but they don't. Why would they? There's nothing telling them they have to.
I don't know you were talking about that stuff.
No, I'm just saying.
I would like to say I would do as well. Especially whenever it comes to like my friends, people I'm cool with, I would let them eat with that silver spoon as well.
Yeah, but you don't also want moochers either, right? Like you don't want to. You want people.
To be real honest, if I had enough to mooch off of, if I made enough to mooch off, like within 5 years, I would let my close friends mooch off.
But that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, that's
right? Because then all of a sudden your close friends like, yo, my baby's mama needs some fucking help, or I need help paying for alimony or fucking whatever. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, well, I know I can get a constant amount of money, so let me get that more money to help my friends. Like, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, that's a very slippery. That's very situational, I guess.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
I would like to think that I would help them to make the same amount of money I was making.
Well, that's hard. Right, that's hard for normal people to make billions, even millions of dollars. That's hard. That's not a normal thing. All right, you have either worked hard or you were born lucky to fucking, live that style.
Sometimes you don't even work hard. You just get lucky on this one thing.
That's true. Like the millionaire people, the people that fucking win the jackpots.
Yeah, like lottery shit.
Right.
And a lot of those people are not millionaires for very long.
No, because they don't understand how to use money.
No.
Right?
They don't know how to invest.
If you had a fucking annual salary of $60,000 and all of a sudden you won $400 million, you've never seen that much money in your life.
Yeah.
Never ever. And you don't know how to spend it. You don't know what to do with it. Right? So people go out there and be like, I'm gonna buy 3 Bentleys and a fucking the Roadster. I'm gonna buy me and Tesla my wife Roadster. Or matching Roadsters, and then I'm gonna buy $1 million house. Like now, all of a sudden, holy fuck, half that money's gone in a year. Well, what the fuck, dude? Like you've got nothing really to show for it other than a nice car and a nice house.
Yeah.
Right. You have nothing else going for you.
And you could sell that, but you're never gonna make that much money again.
Yeah.
Plus, you're not gonna want to sell that.
Yeah. I mean, what you should do, in my opinion, is. Like, if I ever won the lotto, dude, I'd fucking straight up just half of it's going into, like, a CD that I can't touch, and it's going to make 5% interest.
So,
boom. I'll live off that.
So, I wouldn't say half of that. I'm going to, if I ever won the lottery, depending on how much it is, I'm going to buy an apartment complex.
Make some money, man.
And whatever I don't use for that apartment complex, well, first of all, I'm going to pay off all my debts. And then I'm going to buy the apartment complex.
Your debts are so minuscule compared to even $1 million.
That's why I didn't mention it, because I have like $15,000 worth of debt.
Yeah, so minuscule,
including
compared to
credit card, car loans.
Well, you got a house though, right?
That's true.
That's debt.
That is a debt.
Yep.
But I wasn't thinking about that.
I probably
wouldn't. I wouldn't pay off my house.
I would. I'd pay this house off right now.
I'd probably pay a good chunk of it off, but I don't want to stay there forever.
No, you don't need to. That's the thing. Like, this house I currently live in, if I won the Powerball, I'd pay this house off, pay whatever I needed to fix it up, and rent it.
Yeah.
I'd rent it for $1,500 a month. Not even exuberant.
I got you. That makes sense.
And that's always got money.
So, I guess basically what it comes down to is how much the apartment complex costs and how much I'm getting. I'm getting whitewashed out.
Yeah, you
real
are,
bad.
bro.
That's because of like this stream of sunlight.
Oh, I see that. I mean, luckily you're more white. You're less white than I am.
Yeah. But like this much.
So, I mean, that's debatable. But go on.
Yeah. Anywho, so basically it'd come down to how much the apartment complex that I'm looking at would cost, how many like apartments are in there, but basically the debt that I'm talking about isn't my house. It's just car loans, credit card debt, my wife's student loans, and that's pretty much it. All of that equals up to like maybe $15,000, and maybe like $20,000 because I don't know the exact specifics on my wife's student loans.
Should probably figure that out.
I should probably figure that out. I know how much I'm paying each month, but not.
So you should probably figure that out.
Yeah, it's probably smart.
Just saying.
Anyway, and then whatever's left after that, I put it in a CD, and whatever interest I'm making off that.
Something I can't touch.
Yeah.
Right. Something I don't have a temptation to fucking spend.
That way, I'm making interest. You said it was like 5%.
Yeah.
Depending on the CD. 5% interest off that.
You can see my dog.
And whatever I'm making from that apartment complex. Because there's like, say even you get a small apartment complex with like 10 apartment homes. If you pay all of that off, you don't
it's nothing but profit.
I
mean, you're going to have to pay property taxes and upkeep and stuff. But
so you got $1,000 roughly for each apartment home. That's
$10,000 every month.
$10,000 every month.
Yeah. Any normal person can live off that.
Exactly.
Any normal person is going to be just fine.
Plus your normal job, whatever you're making off.
Oh no, I wouldn't have a job.
I would
not have a job. There's no fucking way. So I would not. Actually, if I won it, this would be upgraded heavily.
Yeah.
Like, I'd get some good production value. I'd probably rent out a space.
Yeah, get an actual studio.
Yeah,
we don't get whitewashed by the sun.
Yeah, we get. I wish I could fix that.
That's all right.
But
I mean, how deep are we in?
Oh, what are we? An hour and 12 minutes?
Yeah, and I gotta piss like a motherfucker, so.
Yeah.
It's probably not gonna last that much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I would not have a job. I'll tell you that right now. Mm-hmm. I'd focus on hobbies, just so I'm not like sitting around not doing shit.
Gotcha.
I'd focus on hobbies. Focus on, video gaming. Shit. Who's to say I can't go out and fucking do? It's not gonna help.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get over in the
way
sun.
over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's alright.
My bad, bro.
Oh, we'll fix that as we go. That's fine. I do have to really pee though.
Oh man, I gotta go take a piss. I mean,
you just take a piss and maybe we'll edit this out, or.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah. Here, I'll just pause it. That's all. Fucking. Oh wait, do I know how to fucking do that? I don't know if there's a.
I don't know.
There's a stop.
Stop and.